Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Daniel here from Golden Vines, and today's video is going to be extra special. I know that a lot of you have been waiting to see me transform the hutch for the spooky season, so that is what's in store for today's video. Welcome to Project Thrift Flip, where thrift finds from my various walkthroughs get their time to shine. In every episode, I'll take you behind the flip, showing how these secondhand gems go from the shelves at Goodwill to perfectly styled pieces in my very own home. It's all about creativity, transformation, and that one-of-a-kind golden finds magic. Join me as I turn forgotten treasures into cherished pieces that carry stories into a new chapter. Because these finds aren't just things, they're memories in the making and a little piece of home. Welcome to Project Thrift Flip. And of course, we're going to use a lot of the items that I have thrifted on previous years, a few items from my Project Thrift Flips. So some stuff may look familiar if you've been watching me for the long time now. And I have everything spread out, but I do have some things in the bins. I have to kind of figure out how I want to do this. I know that I want to add spooky touches to it. I want to add also kind of keeping in mind the neutral tones that I want to keep, but maybe adding a few kind of diluted pops of color. Again, for this hutch, it's basically going to be like a market side hutch, but we're going to make it spooky. So these are things that I just thought, what would a witch have in her wares? What is her inventory? You know, she is here and ready for you to make a spell, to make a potion, to do some type of witchy magic. So what would she have on hand in order to do that? So that's basically what it is. It's you're coming over to buy something from her. So I just cannot wait to get started. I truly hope that you all enjoy this video. As always, the holiday season, when it rolls around for Halloween and Christmas, are my most favorite times of the year to decorate the hutch and also my home, which I will be doing a separate video, so make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the home. I want to concentrate on just the hutch just because it might make the video super lengthy. So I cannot wait to get started. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I do hope that you enjoyed today's content enough to consider subscribing. It's absolutely free. Hitting that subscribe button. Everyone else returning, thank you so much again for the love and support. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure to hit the like button before you exit today's video. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in and get started on this decorate with me session. Now, I normally start at the very top, but I think we're going to leave that for the end. So I'm going to go ahead and concentrate in the top layer of the hutch, as I refer to. And if you hear me say the wings or the wings of the hutch, I'm referring to the left and right sides. I just refer to them as wings. So we're going to go ahead and start at the very top right here behind me, this very first little cubby shelf, and we're going to be doing a potion area. So basically all of the witch's collections, all the items, all the ingredients that she needs to make her potions or spells are going to be on that very first level. So the very first thing that I'm going to be using is this piece right here. And I have utilized this before in my regular decor. It is a hearth and hand piece. It's basically just a serving board with legs, and I have found one thrifting. So I actually have two, but one of them was purchased brand new and I found one thrifted like literally maybe a few weeks later. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this one, and we're gonna style it by just simply putting it in the middle. And again, I hope that you guys take these videos as a source of inspiration. That's ultimately what I truly love about creating these videos, is because you get to actually see how I incorporate a lot of the items that I have thrifted on previous videos. So I really hope that it encourages you to do any simple thing. Like, you don't have to be super crafty. Just get into a DIY, go to your local thrift store, pick up items that will work for your spooky decor or for any holiday season for that matter. You can definitely do it. I am no expert and anyone can do this. Decorating is meant to be fun. It's meant to be a joy pastime, you know, relax, unwind, let your creative juices flow. That's what I love about decorating. And there's absolutely no right or wrong when it comes to decorating. Yes, there's things that people say to follow, professionals, decorators that mention, palettes, items, shape, sizes, etc. Things that you have to keep in mind when it comes to decorating. But ultimately, this is meant for you. It's supposed to be your space and you are creating for you, for your enjoyment. And that's what I ultimately love about decorating. Just let your freedom run wild, your creativity. But let's go ahead and get these potions ready because I think she wants to start brewing up some stuff for people to buy. So you have all seen these in my Project Thrift Flip videos. I'm going to be lining that whole serving board with different sizes of these amber potion bottles. Now this is the most largest one. And then I have smaller ones. And there's also some that I have from last year. So this was one from last year. It has a different potion label. So the perfectionist in me is like, I don't think I want to use these because they're going to clash with these. But we'll find a special spot for these because I do have a total of 4. So we're going to go ahead and start adding these onto that serving board and get our potion station started. Now for this section right here, I kind of want to do an overflow of potions. The lowest level, which is down to this one, is going to be where all the cauldrons are set. So we're going to dedicate this other area right here for more potion bottles. I do have a few potion bottles that I found in, I believe they were estate sales and also Goodwill. But first we're going to go ahead and add this beautiful platter. You guys saw this serving platter that I found at Goodwill. It is definitely a vintage. I love the color. It looks very aged and I knew I had to pull it out for this specific decor look since we're going for a very neutral and warm tones and just aged with everything. So we're going to center this platter into this level right here of this shelf. And this is going to house a few things. I do have these bottles that I mentioned. I have this one right here, which is just a beautiful shade of green. This was from an estate sale. This one was thrifted from Goodwill. Now these are definitely very different colors. They're not the original amber glass that we used at the first shelf. Then there's this one too. This was also from an estate sale. Now I also want to add a little bit of greenery. So I created this little floral setup with that beautiful eucalyptus picks. These, I'm just so obsessed with these, you guys. I keep using them all throughout the decor for Halloween. So I have this, which I thrifted also from Goodwill. And I just thought it would look absolutely perfect to give it a little bit of pop of color with the green here. That is one thing that I definitely want you to understand, that when it comes to decorating, that is absolutely okay. We're going to have, those moments where we're going to change our mind. We've had, a moment to think about it. We went to bed and we wake up the next day feeling refreshed and, we thought about maybe this will look better here. Maybe if I move this over here or if I added this over here, it will happen. It happens to me. I don't know if it will happen to everyone, but I have spoken to a few of you and you have mentioned, that happens where we decide to move things or add things because we look at it from a different perspective, or we fell asleep, woke up refreshed, and we thought, well, you know what, this looks maybe better different over here or over there. So that is absolutely okay. Do not feel defeated. Just keep on pushing. Have fun is the most important thing that I can recommend for you. Put Halloween music or any type of music in the background while you're decorating. Pop on a favorite Halloween movie, have your favorite fall drink, and just have fun doing your decorating. So this whole section looks absolutely complete. I don't want to overdo it. I want it to look simple yet full, but not overly doing it, because if I do come back and add more elements, I want there to be space for those items. We're gonna change directions. Instead of moving all the way down, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the wings first. So let's go ahead and get ready for that section. Do you all remember when I found these at Goodwill? I was so ecstatic. I fell in love with these instantly. They were only $5.99. Can you believe it? And these are originally from Home Goods. And I found the set, the couple. Absolutely love these. Now, you may be thinking, well, what do these have to do with the witch theme that we're going here with the Hutch? Now, I don't really see a connection, but I just think they are going to look so awesome having them on here. I do wish that maybe she was adorned as a witch or he had something more spooky, because this looks more like Victorian era. I mean, you could simply probably add a witch's hat onto her head at the top to make it look a little bit more spooky, but we're just gonna add them. And we're gonna add them on both top levels of the Hutch. I think having this on there will kind of give it a more simplistic look. I love that they have like this masquerade mask on. Again, I know it doesn't really go with the theme, but I think they will fit great in those top shelves. So we're gonna go ahead and add the male on this side. Center that off. We're gonna go ahead and add her onto the other side. So let's go ahead and do that. Perfect. We can just say they're relatives or the ones who started the whole business, right? So I think those look great. We're gonna go ahead and keep moving forward down now. And we still have our apothecary jars as well that we created in the Project Thrift Flip. So we have those to add and a few other spooky elements that I think will really make this witch stand pop. Now for this section, I'm gonna go ahead and use these faux books. These were purchased from Michael's last year. My personal opinion, Michael's Halloween collection was way better last year than it was this year. Again, just my opinion. So this is a 3-stack faux book. You open it and it is a box. It has The Raven, The Telltale Heart, The Black Cat by Edgar Allan Poe. So I think this would be so perfect. Now I did think about leaving it like this, but I think I'm just going to simply turn it around and you can still see that it looks like a stack of books, and use it to put it right here in the middle. Now we're gonna go ahead and add that spooky touch by doing a little bit of superstition. You all know what it means. If you did not know, usually when you see a clock strikes 12 at midnight, that is when the witching hour begins. So I do have the Hearth in Hand clock that I found at Goodwill. I don't have a battery on it because I do want it to be stuck at the 12 o'clock time. So we're gonna go ahead and add this to the top right here to again give it that spooky vibe that it's midnight. Now over on this side, we're gonna go ahead and get a little bit more Disney-fied. So I took a token out of Disney's Snow White, and of course we have to do something for the iconic Evil Queen. The Evil Queen is my absolute favorite Disney villain. So I just knew that what I had, which I also did last year, was have the Poison Apple spell book that also has the sleeping spell in one of this area, like one of these areas that's dedicated to her basically. So last year I did the same thing. I used this with a basket of apples, which we're also going to use. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing like we did with the other side with the clock. I have another stack of faux books from Michaels as well. And then this one says Frankenstein, Dracula, and Sleepy Hollow. So I'm gonna do the same thing by turning it over. And this time though, we're gonna go ahead and put it tucked away a little bit more to the right side over here. And the reason for that is because we're going to have the spell book on top, and then I'm going to have a basket of apples right next to the spell book, because of course, you know, if you come to see the witch, you are expecting to get apples if you're going to create a poison apple. So we're gonna stack this right up here. And now next to that, we're gonna go ahead and add this thrifted basket with also thrifted apples. You all saw these. I thrifted these. These were from Target originally, from the dollar spot section. I believe they were from their fall collection from last year, but they landed at Goodwill. And I just love how realistic they look. So we're gonna go ahead and add these right next to the spell book so that you are ready to grab those apples by the pound if you need to do the poison apple spell. Underneath the spell book and the basket of apples, we're gonna go ahead and start adding our apothecary jars. So these are simply just gonna go in here, super easy. I really recommend that you try this. You can find so many of these at the thrift store and they're usually very inexpensive. So we're gonna add the 3 that I created from my Project Thrift Flip. This one's the largest and it's not gonna fit. So that sometimes can happen, you guys. It's okay. It's learn from your mistakes. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't seem like it's gonna fit here. So I may have to add this one somewhere else because I don't have the space for it to be anywhere else. So I'll have to find a space for it somewhere else. And then we're gonna go ahead and add this other one. After some much rearranging, I decided to just go ahead and pull out the one that I was going to share in a future thrift haul. So this is another one that I found at Goodwill. I already removed the tag on it and I believe it was $2.99. So I decided to transfer those beautiful faux florals that I got from Michaels into that smaller one. And I'm gonna add the potpourri pieces that look like little pumpkins, basically. They almost look like squash. So I decided to transfer those in here. So we'll go ahead and add this one right there. And I really love that they're all like different heights and different sizes. It just really gives it more character when it's like that. So we're gonna add this one right here. Put this one a little bit more so we can expose what is inside. And again, the witch has to have fresh items on hand. It can't, you know, everything cannot be pulverized to dust. So she has her fresh wares as well, ready on the hand for any potion or spell that requires it. Now for this last section, before we get to the last bottom row where we're going to add the cauldrons, I am having a hard time trying to figure out exactly what I want to do with the space. So these are actual vintage books. This one right here, I found these at an estate sale. Look at that symbol right there. It's very intricate. It's even signed 1946. And it's called Then and Now. And this book is copyright 1946, just like the signature. And I love finding pieces like this. It really adds character. So I thought, well, let's add another book stack here. And then I also have this one as well. That was the estate sale find. And this is an actual Halloween book. It's called Tales of Terror. Edited by Boris Karloff. And this book is a little bit of an oldie. Again, it's called A Tower Mystery, and where is the copyright year? I always have a hard time finding the copyright year for this book. The pages are really old and yellowed, as you can see. I want to say it's also in the 40s. And copyright 1943. Absolutely amazing. So I'm going to add that here. And then I thought, well, what if I add this other bust? Now, I know that I said I was going to DIY this into something spooky, but I think it just works the way it is. This was from Michael's. It was actually part of their, I think it's their spring, yeah, their spring collection, and it was like 75% off. So I thought this would look really spooky for Halloween. So I can add this on top of the books and have that there tucked in the corner. And I could add either a pumpkin. I thought about this little guy. I could actually put the floral arrangement that I made. I do like that idea too. Or I can go ahead and add another faux stack of books too, because the witch would of course have books. She has to have lots of books, especially spell books. So then I thought, why don't I add this here and make it seem like it's part of the book collection? And I really do like this. Maybe if I just center it a little bit more. This was also thrifted. I think that looks perfect. I really, really love this. It's looking good. For the bottom section, the last section before we head on to the very top to craft that section as well. So right here is going to be the section where the witch is going to concoct all of her potions. So of course she has to have several cauldrons at the ready. So we're going to go ahead and add this one, which was actually a terracotta piece. One trick that I want to share with you as well when it comes to pieces like this. This is the original side. This was from TJ Maxx, I believe. I bought it last year. It says Happy Halloween, and then it has these little accents of a witch hat and a bat on the side. If you have something like this and you prefer it to be blank, just simply turn your items over. Look at how perfect this is. You can't see the wording, and it looks, I feel personally, it looks better. The same thing goes for other items that may not be spooky or for Halloween or meant to be for Halloween, like this right here, this thrifted bottle from Michael's Stone Ginger Beer. Simply turn it around and now you have a neutral look to work with. So that's something that I really recommend that you guys do. Shop around for what you have at home that could work by simply just turning it over. So we're gonna go ahead and add the cauldrons. And I want them tucked in because we're adding a total of 3. And I don't want them to be too close to each other. I also have this Ray Dunn Witch's Brew Cauldron. I absolutely love this piece. Fun fact, Joe found this for me when he was out in Texas. He sometimes has to travel for work, and he would always venture to Texas a lot. So he was out there radon hunting during the Halloween season, and he brought me the cauldron. I had been looking for this thing forever here in California, and it has the potions, the recipe on the back. Absolutely love this piece. So it's very sentimental value because my husband bought it for me. So we're gonna add this to this side. And I still love using my Ray Dunn, you guys. I still love it. And the last cauldron is made out of metal. This was last year's purchase from HomeGoods. It was $7.99. I really love the look. It's metal. It says Hocus Pocus. It's like galvanized into the metal. Now I am adding this piece right here. This was something that I found thrifted. This is so perfect also for like a spell. I think it's supposed to be for burning like wax cubes or, you know, something. It looks like it belongs in a chemistry set basically, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and add that to give it some height. Again, utilize whatever you have at home. That will work. Now I did think about making it cute and adding maybe like a pumpkin. I thought about maybe adding one of the terracotta pumpkins from Target. But I ultimately decided that it would look so cool with another skull. So we're gonna go ahead and add that to the top right there. And it looks like it's floating in there. So we're gonna go ahead and add that right here in the middle. Now, of course, no witch can be complete without having a few accessories to make those potions. So we're gonna go ahead and add this stoneware jug as well, also thrifted. And now it's just really about accessorizing, making it look like it's lived in, making it look like it's being used and utilized. We're gonna go ahead and turn this over and use it for decor. I love when you can find pieces that are multi-purpose use. So I'm gonna put those together. Now I did think about adding these beautiful copper ladles. These I found at Goodwill. I think it was possibly last year or 2 years ago. They're just absolutely perfect and they're weathered. I love them. So I actually changed out this piece for a smaller one that I had, and I'm just gonna put them in there. You know, she has to have her spoons to mix her potions in the cauldron, you know, to start serving them out into potion bottles. So those have to obviously be on hand for the witch. So I'm gonna push this a little bit more in the bag to give us that room. We're gonna have them, you know, basically on the hand ready for the witch to have them on hand. You know, when it comes to cooking, you always have to have your utensils nearby because you always have to be mixing or flipping or whatever you're doing for cooking, right? So we have those right there on the corner. Again, keeping it very simple, very light, not too much. And then I also have this Beware Ray Dunn mini cauldron. This was a new buy from last year. And then I'm just gonna put it right here. Just a few simple touches to the space right here. You know, she has her stuff ready for customers. And I think that really does it. I did think about maybe adding other things like, you know, some other elements like the jar of spiders. This is just a mason jar that I also found thrifted. And there's some plastic spiders that I purchased from Amazon on here. These are from Amazon. Oh, icky. I dislike spiders. I don't like spiders at all, you guys. So then I think I might add these as an element right here. You know, she needs to have live animals too for her potion making and casting of spells. So we'll have that there to give it that completed look. I feel like it definitely needed something here. So that wraps up for this section right here. Let me go ahead and just show you another section that I'm going to work on for a little bit more that I switched out, so that way you guys can see what I did. Hey guys, we are now at the top portion. So I have the crock that's going to stay right there. I went ahead and added the masher that I found at Goodwill. And I also have added this witch's hat right here. Now I do have like this cake stand that's flipped upside down in order to give it more of a holding ground for the witch's hat to sit on top. So that's what we have going on here. I wanted to have that area specifically for that, so it looks like, you know, she's got her hat on the hand whenever she needs it. You know, she can't be wearing it 24/7, right? So we have that there. And I want to go ahead and add the baskets that we did for our Project Thrift Flip. So I absolutely just adore how this one came out. The picnic basket with the hydrangeas. These look like they're about to die, or they're in the process of already dying, which again goes with our gloomy look for Halloween for the Hutch. Now it does hide the market a little bit, but that's absolutely fine. It's not a biggie for me. And then we're also going to take our DIY bat accent piece that we changed with the spooky Where do you guys think this is going to go? Let's see if you guys guessed. So this, I did add one of these sawtooth hangers, is going to go at the very top of our sign. Welcome to the spooky market. Right when I saw that bat, I just knew right away it was going to be the perfect accent piece to transform this into the actual spooky market for Halloween. I love it. Something as simple as this, you guys. Go to your thrift store, look for something like that. You can change it. So simple, right? We did the stencil with the word spooky and some paint. You have something awesome. And you can put this piece anywhere. If you find pieces like that for any holiday, whether it's a bat or, you know, the shape of an ornament or a star for 4th of July, you can do so much with stencils and paint, and they're inexpensive. So I just really love how that came out. So I also added this little jar right here with some faux picks that I got from Michael's last year. Just again, I kind of want this to kind of be the area where her extra stuff is tucked away when she needs it. You know, she's just gonna go up there and grab it. Now we're on this side of the hutch. So I know that I want to have this over here. Again, these are all ingredients that she would have on hand to do her potion making and her spell casting. So I think that looks good there. And then at the corner, let me see where I can put this one, because I keep lingering back and forth where to put it. I don't know if it might be too far to see from there. Maybe I could place it next to this. There's a trivet that I'm using for height at the bottom. That's something else if you guys want to use a trivet if it has legs on it, because it will give your item height. Use whatever you have, that will work. So let me see if I can make this work right here. Kind of looks like it's hidden a little bit. I think that's perfect. Okay. Now we're gonna add that other basket of florals that we created on the Project Thrift Flip. This one right here, the bag. I love this thing. Absolutely love it. And again, the eucalyptus, yes. I used it on almost everything, you guys. I am so in love with that. So we're gonna add this to, I'm thinking over here in the corner. Again, these are all things that she has to have handy for her potion making, her spell casting. Again, just the extra stuff. You know, you're coming over to buy stuff, she's gonna have you ready. She's gonna have everything for you. Now I do have one more potion, and I thought, well, maybe we could utilize this somehow. This could definitely hold a potion. I mean, this is deadly concoction, so I guess you wouldn't really be wanting to handling it as much. So let me see if I can make this work somewhere here. Let's see if that works. Okay. One thing about me that you'll learn is that heights drive me nuts. I have to make sure they're coordinated so well. So I think this looks so much better. Okay, yeah, that looks better. We have the ghoul glue and the zombie juice will be down here, which you kind of can't see it. So that might pose an issue. I might have to find something to tuck underneath it to give it a little bit more height, because you guys, you can see it from here, but if you're lower to the ground, it gets cut off like by, you can't even see deadly concoction. So we'll figure something out. I also have this metal tin that I found at Savers thrift store. It was originally from Michael's, and I'm gonna add this as well, give it more of a rustic look. I gave it some height by using just some styrofoam block. Use whatever you guys have. And we're gonna have that there. Again, it's all the access stuff, the extra stuff that she doesn't have room for down there. We wanna display it. So I do have a lot of other stuff to play with, but I kind of don't want to overdo it. I have these that I picked up from Ross a few years ago. It's a spider. I feel it kind of hides the crock though if I do that. But I kind of also like it. Especially because the sun hits it. Maybe there so we're not hiding the florals too much. I think that looks good. This is the area that I am referring to that we're gonna go ahead and add the rest of our decor. So I have 3 nails right now on the wall, and I'm gonna go ahead and add a sign at the top and then a few other baskets that you saw from the Project Thrift Flip. Now, of course, we also have this broom right here that I also made together using thrifted items. So this bunch right here, I don't know what it was originally used for, but to me it spoke witch broom. So I don't know if whoever had made this into a DIY had made this into a witch broom, but I didn't find these 2 pieces together. This piece right here is actually on its own, and it has a hanging string. So again, I don't know if maybe they were donated by the same person, but when I found this at another thrift store, and then I found this bunch at another thrift store, it just clicked. The idea right away was to create my own witch's broom. So that's what we did with these 2 thrifted pieces. So of course, a witch wouldn't be complete without having her witch's broom. So I'm gonna go ahead and tuck it right here in the corner for her to have on hand, you know, whenever she needs to fly somewhere to run errands, to do Uber Witch deliveries, you name it. I think that looks really cute right there. And then I'm also going to be adding this little stool that I also found thrifted. This was $10 originally. And we're gonna have it right here. And we're gonna add some spooky friends. Well, just basically one friend. If you all remember this very interesting cat. So this is definitely a little spooky. I want to say this was, or is a vintage piece. This looks like it was either store-bought or someone made it. Those teeth right there are very, very vicious. It's a very, very vicious cat. But I just love it. It looks realistic. It has its spine up. It's on defense mode. It's definitely alerting us of something. So we're gonna go ahead and add our little friend right here. We should name this cat. Should it just be Binks, like from Hocus Pocus? So we're gonna add the cat right here. A cat has to have, or a witch has to have a cat friend. And we're gonna add these 2 potted plants, or just pots, basically. These, again, were also thrifted. I love the color of them. I love that they look worn and aged, and it definitely has some dry mud, so these were used. Again, that just gives it more character. Now, I feel like she would definitely have something like this, you know, from all of her plants and stuff that she uses, all of her grown plants for her potions and for everything that she needs. So these are gonna add a lot of character, and I'm going to tilt it in like this to, again, give it those touches of just making it unique, you know, not just making it super simple. So we're gonna do that right there. Now, of course, she has to have another cauldron. Now, I might be totally butchering the name of this pick that I got from Amazon. Let me go ahead and pick this up. So this is a cauldron that I filled with a plant that's called Simifuga. I might be totally pronouncing it wrong. I found these on Amazon, and these are just absolutely gorgeous. They're like this beautiful color, like a purple, really dark purple. So I filled this cauldron, which was originally from Threshold's collection last year, and I filled with it with like all of these picks. Now, the ones that I ordered came with a total of 6. and I will go ahead and add them to the description box of the video if you guys are interested in them. They aren't the best quality, I will say that, so just make sure if you think about purchasing them, read all of the reviews because they're mixed. They have really high reviews, but there's a lot of people that are not overjoyed with the quality of them. So we're gonna go ahead and add our cauldron filled with these right next to the stool. And the cauldron did return back. Target, you can find it in this year's collection of Halloween. And I'm basically just going to be playing around with these picks until I get an arrangement that I really like. Perfect. Now I am also going to add another one of our Project Thrift Flips, and you guessed it, more of that eucalyptus in this basket. This again was the thrifted basket from Goodwill. I knew that it was going to be perfect, full of these picks with it. And we're gonna add this just next to the cauldron. You guys aren't really able to see it, I just noticed on the camera. Let me turn you just a little bit. There we go. And I'm gonna add this to the side of the cauldron, right next to the door of the hutch, to the lower level, right here, tucked in the little corner right here. And that is basically it, you guys. I just really am loving this look. Something very different. Each Halloween I strive for a different look, and I just really love how this turned out. And that concludes our decorating for the hutch for the 2025 season of Halloween. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this decorate with me session and that you were able to get some inspiration out of it. Make sure that you're always out there seeking for your very own golden finds to transform into something wicked for your next holiday season. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below, you guys. What did you think overall? I definitely might be adding a little bit more here and there. As I mentioned, there are some items still to be revealed in a Goodwill walkthrough and also a haul. So those might be added later on if I see that they fit well with the look of the hutch. So again, thank you so much, you guys, for coming along with me to decorate the hutch. I absolutely am so in love with it, but make sure to stay tuned because I'm going to be doing a final look at everything so you can see everything as a whole. Again, I will catch you on our next adventure, and happy decorating. Bye, guys. That's a wrap on this week's flips. I hope this inspires you to see the potential in your very own thrift finds. Flip it, style it, make it yours. If you love these transformations, give this video a like, drop your favorite flip in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, happy thrifting and happy flipping. Thank you for watching Project Thrift Flip, a division of Golden Finds, reminding you that style doesn't have to come brand new, it just has to come from the heart. Until next time, keep finding the beauty in the forgotten.